All right, let's jump right in. We've always been taught that the smartest decision is the most logical one, the most rational one. But what if I told you that in some of the most important moments of your life, being right is actually the wrong thing to aim for? Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful and kind of weird mental tool called Eristic reasoning.
So, picture this. You are at a massive crossroads in your life. It's a huge decision, but you're totally flying blind. The path forward is, well, it's just fog. There's no data, no facts you can rely on, no past experiences that really help. What on earth do you do? This is what we call a state of extreme uncertainty, and it's exactly where our normal way of thinking just completely breaks down.
Now, to really get why our standard tools fail, we first have to, look inside the mental toolbox we use every single day. Most of the time, we get through life using something called heuristics.
Heuristics are basically mental shortcuts. You can think of them as rules of thumb. They're designed to be super efficient, fast and frugal, as the researchers say, and they let us make pretty good decisions without having to analyze every little thing. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be accurate enough to get the job done, and they do that by picking up on clues from the world around us.
But, and this is the big but, this trusty toolkit has a major weakness. It only works when there are cues out there to read. Sometimes, though, the world just goes completely silent.
So, what happens when a situation is totally brand new, or so chaotic that all your past experience is worthless? That's extreme uncertainty. It's like a decision-making black hole. Our heuristic tools, which absolutely depend on those external signals, suddenly have nothing to grab onto. They're rendered completely useless. And this is when our brain does something really clever. It pulls out a totally different kind of tool. And I mean different. It's not a better heuristic. It's a different tool for a totally different job. It's called Eristic reasoning. And here is where your brain flips a switch. Heuristic reasoning isn't trying to find the right answer. It's not trying to find the truth. Its only goal is what they call hedonic gain, which is just a fancy way of saying its job is to make you feel better. It's all about cutting down the anxiety of not knowing and giving you some immediate emotional relief by letting you believe what you need to believe. So if it's not getting its information from the outside world, where is it coming from? It's coming from inside us. Heuristic reasoning is fueled by things like our myths and superstitions that give us a little sense of control, our passions that give us a direction, any direction, even our prejudices, which simplify a complex world, or our vested interests that are just trying to protect us. It's thinking that serves our own psychological comfort, not the objective truth.
So let's be super clear. We are talking about two fundamentally different ways of thinking. One is out there, searching for an answer in the world, and the other is in here, creating an answer inside our own minds.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look at heuristic reasoning. The goal is accuracy, solving a problem. The input? Cues from the outside world. The motto is basically, good enough is perfect. Now look at Eristic reasoning. The goal? Hedonic gain, feeling good. The input? Our own internal needs and desires. And its motto? If it feels right, it is. A world of difference, right?
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds, well, irrational, maybe even a little delusional. But here's the most fascinating part of all this. The argument is that in some specific situations, this irrational way of thinking is actually the smartest, most adaptive strategy you could possibly have. So that brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Which one is actually better? The logical, truth-seeking way or the self-serving, feel-good way? And the answer, as this amazing graph shows, is it depends. On the left, with low uncertainty, good old-fashioned logic wins, hands down. In the middle, with moderate uncertainty, heuristics are your best bet. But look what happens way over on the right. When uncertainty becomes extreme, the usefulness of heuristic reasoning just skyrockets. Trying to find the truth becomes so pointless that the best move is to just stop trying and instead focus on managing your own internal state so you can function at all. Okay, so that's the theory. To really see how this plays out, let's look at a classic example from game theory that you might have heard of, the prisoner's dilemma. This is going to make that abstract idea feel a lot more real. Now check this out. In the experiment, when people had no idea what their partner was going to do, that's high uncertainty. 37% of them chose to cooperate. You could call that Eristic reasoning, just wishful thinking, hoping for the best. But get this. When they were told with certainty that their partner was cooperating, the rate of cooperation plummeted to just 16%. Wait, what? That seems completely backwards, doesn't it?
If you know for a fact your partner has your back, you should be more likely to cooperate, not less. So what on earth is going on here?
It's because the second that extreme uncertainty was taken away, the need for that Eristic coping, that wishful thinking, it just vanished. People switched from that let's hope for the best mindset right back to a cold, rational calculation. Okay, what's the absolute best outcome for me? And in that game, the rational choice was to betray their trusting partner.
And that brings us to this really powerful conclusion from the researchers themselves. They say that when the truth is elusive, chasing it is a fool's errand. It is actually more beneficial for our survival and our ability to cope to just use these heuristic methods instead.
So at the end of the day, this tendency we have to believe what feels good when we're staring into the abyss, it's not a bug in our mental software. It's a feature. It's an evolutionary adaptation that's designed for one thing: helping us survive the unknown.
So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this new lens to look at the world, where do you see it? Think about entrepreneurs taking a massive leap of faith on a crazy idea, or people falling head over heels in love against all odds. Where do you see this powerful, irrational, and incredibly human force at play?